Let's talk about this one company that owns over $50 trillion in assets that you've probably never heard about. It's a company called the DTC. So in order to explain what the DTC is, I want to kind of back up and talk a little bit about the history of the stock market and how we got to everything being digital the way it is today. So back in the 70s, the stock market was more of the traditional stock market you might think of in the olden times, where people would come to the stock exchange. They'd each have stock certificates that said, hey, I own this share of this company. I'm willing to sell it for $10 and I'm looking for a buyer that's willing to buy it for that price. And a buyer would come into the market and, it's that scene where people are yelling, I'll buy it for this and I'll buy it for that and I'll do this. And it was kind of just chaos. And back in the day, maybe this worked quite a bit. But over time, there were over 8 million shares that were being transferred day to day from one hand to the next. It was unsustainable. The stock market actually shut down in the early 70s for a full week. They couldn't keep up with that amount of transfers per day. So what did they do? All the largest banks in the world at the time and large financial institutions, including the New York Stock Exchange, the primary stock exchange for exchanging these certificates, all got together and created the DTC, the Depository Trust Company. What it is, it's essentially a trust fund. So all of these stocks started to be housed under a single name, the DTC, and different brokers and financial institutions would all settle, clear, and house all of their stocks all under one giant safe. Now it's all digital, and now this can process over 1 billion different share transfers every single day. But there's a catch here. In that process, retail investors, everyday investors like me and you, lost their ability to have their name on the stock certificate. Back in the day, the Rockefellers would say, look, if you owned a share in our company, your share acted as a free ticket for a train ride to our annual shareholder meeting, where you could get together with other people that had certificates with their name on it and discuss the future of the company. And that essentially all vanished when the DTC was created. Now, instead of it being a single individual that's name is trying to be swapped out, it's a brokerage or a clearing firm. This made it easier for larger brokerages to exchange their shares. So this is one instance of the stock market in which automation greatly helped improve the quality of order execution in the market, but it actually took away some of the privileges that an individual shareholder used to own. And at the end of the day, the DTC is still owned by these large financial institutions. They've just cut out the retail investor.